Okay, guys, I think we are live. And so today, what I'm gonna tell you in this live stream video is that we are actually breaking out from the Bitcoin major resistance. So, this 11,400 level, that is a big major resistance. So, we had, like, you can see, we had a resistance right here, support right here, support. Maybe we had a fake out support. I don't know what this is. Maybe you could call that a resistance. And then we had a couple resistance here. So this major, we also had like a resistance right here. But now that we broke out, this is actually really good because the next actually resistance that we're gonna have, if you look, the next resistance that we're going to have, how we check if where it's going to be, is using the VPVR level. And if we zoom out and check, the major resistance will be, let's just say, 11,800 or 12,000. So we could be testing $12,000 next. And we have good things to show you. Not only this, but also the static RSI. It's turning to blue on top. Since it's turning to blue on top, this means that we could be actually going up. One bad thing is that RSI is really high right now, though. It went all the way down to 55, but now it's back up and about to be to sell zone. But what we're supposed to check to make sure that this is actually a great sell is to see if we are. So how you check if it's a sell? You're supposed to be less than actually 75% from the all-time high, or something like that. And so I'm not gonna go into that detail, but I don't think the RSI is really actually this is not really a sell zone. So I would go with the stochastic RSI. And so the stochastic RSI is turning to blue on top, so I think we could be going up. Another bad thing is that if we go to the Bitcoin dominance, which is right here, you can see that there's a gap that is all the way down here at 11,100. And since there's a gap up there, Bitcoin likes to close all gaps. And so as soon as I think we're going to stop, we're going to start getting resistance. And as soon as we're going to get some weakening in the Bitcoin, we start tapping the top of, this triangle, there's the big triangle right there, the all-time high, the all-time history triangle. And as soon as we're going to start tapping it, and this resistance triangle is at 11,700, that's where we could be going because we're going to tap it. As soon as we tap it, we're going to start falling. If we break 11,400, well, not 11,400 because the VPVR actually, if you look at it, you can see that if we break 11,300, we will fall down to fill the gap. And that's actually going to be not that great. Kind of going to be great if you put if we go up to here, you're going to take profit. Maybe put a short down here at 11,300 because I think we should fill that gap. We're going to fill that gap. And if we fill that gap, by the way, comment if you think we're going to fill that gap. Because I think we could. Also, if I take the RSI back, I think I just deleted it for nothing, but you can see that we could be potentially making a bearish divergence, like this, and then you could see that like this, something like that. And I saw that. I don't really remember how to do it, but I saw that there was a bearish divergence here. And so when you do that bearish divergence, we could, if we're gonna get rejected right here, this would mean that if we get rejected, let's just say at this price, maybe fall down to here and then have another tap over here, we could be falling because this actually would be a bearish divergence. And the RSI actually does it too. RSI confirms it because we're going higher high, higher high. We're supposed to be higher low and higher low on the RSI. And so this would mean a bearish divergence. And so actually this could be, since we do have this, we went up. This is what I was afraid of. If we went up here after the gap, then we could be going down because this is a gap high. And so this could be meaning that we would be falling to the bottom of this gap. The bottom of this gap, like I said, is 11,140. We came down to 11,280. So all we have to actually do is, let me just make a line here and make a line here. This is where we're supposed to. All we gotta do is just come down to this level. We were so close. Just $100 less. We could have fallen and we would be free and we could actually be going higher. But since we're not done with it, like I say, I think we will actually come and test it. Also, one thing that's actually bad is that the volume, if you look at the volume, you can see that it's going down. You don't see any major volume. You would have seen major volume if this would be a breakout. I think could have been, yeah, this is a breakout. But one thing that's bad is that the volume actually is going down. It's decreasing. Usually, you know why volumes decrease in triangles? It's because they have less places to move and the volume actually decreases. Here, since we're actually getting we're taking a lot of space up and we're going really high, the volume should be actually rising. And so since the volume is not rising, this means that this is like not that great, and Bitcoin does not have that much actually on its side. It's like, just like if you're rising in the atmosphere of the air balloon, it's gonna pop. And if it's not that thick, it's just gonna break and rip and pop, and you're just gonna fall back down. And so you guys can see that I think we could be testing this gap. But like I said, we could test 11,700 because of this big gigantic triangle here on the 4-hourly time frame. It's not even, we can't see it. But if we go to the daily time frame, you can see that here it is, this gigantic triangle. We could test it again. If we test it and get rejected, it's not going to be good, because we could come back down to 10,000 and test it. 10,400 is where we could test it. 10,500, somewhere there. That's a big support and resistance. Because you can see this triangle, if we delete this ascending triangle, you see that this major triangle, if we test it at 11,700, get rejected, then we're going to come back down to 10,400. And that would fill this gap, but not another gap. Because if we go to the Bitcoin, actually, this is actually the Bitcoin futures, yeah. There is another gap here at 9,600, and that's beneath, like I said, beneath 10,400. And so, yeah, we're not probably gonna fill that gap. That could be like the only gap that we're never gonna fill entirely. But I have a feeling if we get rejected at 11,700, then we're coming down to 11,400. But how long to 11,700? So, well, we could see that since we are right here, if we go a little bit closer, you can see that we have, just say, like, to 11,700, 1% to go. But if you put it on 10x leverage, of course, it's going to be 10%. If you put it on 100 leverage, it's going to be 100%. But, like, I think we could be actually going to, like, 1% more, and I think that's it. If we break this 11,700 by any chance, which actually could happen, which I don't think, because of the volume, if we do break that, then we could actually test 12,000. But that's the most I think Bitcoin would go because of this gap, which is on the Bitcoin dominance here. Because I think we will fill this gap. And this gap, like I said, ends at 11,100, and I think we will actually go down. Maybe we could like test a couple supports, like a 10,800. There's one support, but we could come down to eventually bottom of this triangle, which is 10,400, which is all the way here. And you can see that this is a big support also, because on the VPVR, if you look at the VPVR, you can see that the support, there's a support here. There's actually major supports. This is like the most we've been stuck in here for a long time. And you can see that the VPVR, we were so close to actually breaking out. If we break 12,400, then we could be actually in thin air. 12,400, thin air after that. And after that means we're going to be charting practically new data. We were there all the way down here, but let's just say we lost those documents, because you don't get that much data to see where we're going to go. This is all you have to know, where the supports and resistance are. And so after we break 12,400, if we will, one day, then we could actually be going to 20,000 and charting new data and stuff. But right now, I think we could go to 11,700 if we break that by any chance, which I don't think that will happen. Then we could go to 12,000. But if we get rejected from this, then we could test potentially 10,800, maybe. Since this is like you could call this a 5-wave move, maybe we could be showing like going to 11,100 for like the second wave, and then we could go on for the third and fourth and fifth wave, and that would actually could make sense. And so instead of going all the way down to here to test this bottom triangle, all we gotta do is just go to the bottom of this Fibonacci retracement level, which actually is cool because if you get the Fibonacci retracement level from here to here, it does go down to 10,900, but it actually, the golden pocket, this the golden ratio is at 10,900, but the golden pocket is from 11,000 to 10,900, and so we could be going to 11,000. And what's cool is that the Bitcoin gap closes as 11,100. And so we could actually be going a little bit lower than 11,100 to fill the gap and test 11,000. And so there, now that I'm actually ending this live stream, I'm going to be showing you actually where I think we could be going. We could be going, either we get rejected from 11,700, and after that we will fall and test either 11,100 for the golden pocket, or we could fall and test the bottom of this triangle at 10,400. But that's actually I would say in the little bit long term. But major where I think we could go, either we actually break 11,700 or we go to 12,000 and then fall because of that gap. So this is what I think Bitcoin could do. Either go to 11,700 or 12,000. And after that, either 11,000 or 10,400. That's where I think we could go because of the gap. If we would have filled this gap, like I said, if we would have filled this gap just $100 less, we could actually be free to go actually higher. But since we went up on the Saturday and Sunday, then since we went there, actually, I think we will fill this gap. But let's just say 1% higher is all we're going to do. We're running out of steam on Bitcoin, but I think in the long term, we're going to be going up. So that's what I think on the live stream. So hope you guys enjoyed this live stream, and see you guys in the next video. Bye! How do you even turn off this live stream? Oh, there we go.